Everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. You're in the kitchen with KK. My name is Kimberly Knox. I'm a very passionate integrative and functional health coach that wants to get people inspired to get back into the kitchen and just hone their skills because excellence is a habit, not a trade. So once you realize, and we're realizing this today, how powerful changing your food is, changes your health. And over 15 years ago, it changed mine in just 3 days of hyperloading nutrients into my body. So I really want to bring forth to you something fun. Our moms always talked about eat your veggies, or our parents, eat your veggies. That sometimes is a hard sell, right? To kids, but you want to get them involved, make it fun, make it different, and maybe share what the vegetable does for you. Because I can tell you, I had a 5-year-old want to know what the skin of zucchinis, how they were good for the eyes. And I talked to him about the antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin. They are interested. Okay, so it's National Eat Your Veggie Day. That was yesterday. So I just did my organic supper club and community social. I've been doing it for 8 years. It's a grassroots effort to get people involved in seeing what you can create in your own kitchen, right? You're saving about 4 times the amount of money by eating at home, and you're also increasing the nutrients that you can get. I made roasted baby bok choy for a lot of people. And so, but it's gorgeous. So bok choy, baby bok choy is, looks like this when you buy it, when you get it in the store. And all I did was cut them in half, and you can see how beautiful they look. And you can point out to your children, there's designs in nature and just beautiful. So bok choy is definitely high in water. You can actually add it into juicing, the bigger bok choy, the stems. You can keep those for juicing. And and I've sauteed the baby bok choy in olive oil with some garlic, but maybe you want to cut down on the oil. Maybe you want to look different. So today we're going to do it a little bit different. And we're going to make a little rub for them with garlic and ginger. So this is going to be super amazing. And a little bit of maple syrup, so it's kid friendly, and some coconut aminos. So we have this savory mix. And here, I like a lot of garlic. So I'm just going to rough chop up the garlic here for you. And that's pretty easy to do. We're going to put it into my little blender here that I use a lot. That'll save you time. But if you rough chop it enough and mince it up, then you can just mix it in a bowl, like a small prep bowl like this, because we're going to put it over the bok choy. So I probably have a little too much garlic. That's all right. The leftovers I'm going to add into a drizzle that I use when I am making other veggies or topping it on cooked millet or buckwheat. Okay, you see how quick this is? And turn on the music, get your knives out, have a sharp knife. You really need this. And in no time, you've got yourself a nice little pile of garlic, which we're going to use our little board scraper. So I'm going to get this all into the little cup here. Ginger roots up next. You don't need to buy a specific peeler for your ginger root. Just one more thing to have in the kitchen. So what I do, I just want to get the biggest part of it here. All right, we're going to use about this much. I just made ginger tea. In fact, I'm sipping on ginger tea with some fresh mint and a little bit of honey. It's delish. So all you do is you put your trimmings into a pot of water, you boil it, and it's just brilliant and really good for your tummy. Perfect when it's hot outside to keep your digestive fire nice and warm. Burn off that extra. So we're entering into the summer season, right? We're having the summer solstice right on Father's Day this Sunday. So this is a time, so you can just use your knife like this to peel. So this is perfect. Let's get this over here. And so just slice it, and then we're gonna rough chop those slices. Pretty easy. All right, so you just keep putting it in a pile, and then we'll just cut up the pile here. Because you want to have noticeable chunks on the bok choy. This is going to give it a little peppery, so a little peppery, savory, and sweet. This is a genius mix. So perfect for veggies. So that looks great, right? Took no time. Basically have 5 minutes here. The board scraper is really key. That way you're not using the edge of your beautiful knives. So you need about 2 tablespoons of the coconut aminos. You can measure it. You can eyeball it. You don't. Doesn't need to be perfect. About 2 tablespoons. That's half of a quarter of a cup. That's an eighth of a cup. It's 4 tablespoons in a quarter cup. And at least a tablespoon of the Vermont maple syrup. My mom just sent this down from my neighbors, the Russells, their farm. So we've been getting maple syrup from them for a long time, although we did used to make it growing up. So that's fun. I'm just going to put on this little blade and give it a whip. And then we're going to prepare the bok choy. The oven is on 425. You can between 400 and 450, depending on how hot your oven is. We're going to roast it. Let's just blend this up real quick. So that just breaks it down a little bit more, makes it easier to spread. And then this is my jar that I keep. So any extras, I'm just going to throw in here, and I put that on top of vegetables after they're steamed when I'm eating them. And all right, so there's the bok choy. You've got a pan already with some parchment paper. We're going to lay these down. Now, I had to do enough of these for 26 people. There was a lot of baby bok choy. So just kind of angle them here back and forth by size. Beautiful, beautiful. Here's this little piece. Let's get you there. Okay, fantastic. We're going to brush them with a little bit of avocado oil. We need a high heat oil. This is over 400 degrees, right? So we're going to use avocado oil. And I have my little brush here. So this is just an easy way to brush it on instead of drizzle it and get it all over the place. This way it'll be a little more evenly distributed. You don't need too much. Just enough to give it a little sizzle. Okay, now let's get our special little sauce here. And a spoon. I always have one over there. Okay, perfect. So we're just going to put a little here on each one, the base to the top. See how we're dressing this up. So this makes a gorgeous piece on a plate. If you're doing a dinner party, a perfect pairing with some black forbidden rice. And that's what I did at supper club. And I did a poached fish, which is perfect for the summer. So you're cutting back on the oils. You've got a light meat, easy to digest. You want to get more veggies. Why do you want veggies? Well, you want them for the fiber to feed your gut microbiome, right? They're easy to digest when they're steamed or cooked properly, but you're getting those plant compounds, right? Those complex plant compounds, antioxidants that are cellular protective. We want to be vibrant. We want energy. We need to eat properly. So we're going to get these into the oven, and we will be back 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to check them at 12. Okay, they're fresh out of the oven. 10, 12 minutes. That is it. You'll hear the sizzling, which is perfect. You want a little bit of crispiness at the leaf. You want the tender, really It's fully hydrated, the bok choy. And I've added the extra sauce to this. Now, why do you want bok choy? Very highly bioavailable calcium. Interesting, right? Bok choy is part of the cruciferous family, the sulforaphane, excellent. That is your plant compound that is cancer preventative and tumor controlling. Of course, with all greens, we've got vitamin C, we've got vitamin K, we've got beta carotene, which is converted into vitamin A, helpful for the skin and the eyes. The liver loves all this stuff. You're adding in garlic and ginger. So these two herbs, and they've been used for centuries. And this is just beautiful. So this is how we season things really, really nicely. We're just going to transfer these to a nice little, this is like basically a pasta dish here. So that's what I'm doing for myself because I'm going to be eating these. But these are going to look beautiful on a plate. So they really dress up your dinner party. They make it interesting to eat the bok choy. Really interesting. Let's get this off the parchment paper here. Hold on, buddy. All right, how fantastic. So a little savory, a little sweet, a little peppery with that ginger. This is a perfect way to try something new with bok choy. If you've never tried bok choy, get it. Just slice it in half and just do what I've done here. I'm going to drizzle it myself with a little bit more. So this dressing, what it has is it's got a little bit of the an organic sesame oil, just to give it a little bit of Asian kind of flair. And you can even put in a little bit of mustard, emulsifier a little bit, and just blend it up a little bit more. But I keep this in a jar in the refrigerator. It's so delicious. So how easy is that? You think you can do this, right? How easy it is and how creative and how fun it is to get back into the kitchen and enhance your health and your family's health. So thanks for tuning in today. I hope you have an excellent start to your summer.